Hi, this is a quick demo of controlling ASA Anyconnect VPN access using the client's MAC address. Now, you may be asking, why even do that? Well, I know it's an uncommon request, but there are a few customers out there who have a reason to filter based on MAC addresses. So here's just a quick demo here. Now, the ASA and FTD VPN itself can't quite control the client, strictly use matching based on the client's MAC address. So the solution to handle this is to use ASA or FTD and ISE together as a combination here. And ISE as a radius server really helps tremendously here. So if you take a look at my configuration here, I have a VPN policy called username. So let's go and show you my VPN connection profile. As a username, and my AAA method authentication is AAA, and I'm pointing it to my ISE server or ISE group as the authentication group or method. And then down below is I have a client IP address configured. I have a group policy, just a typical group policy associated with it, DNS, etc. And then the group URL connection is irvdmz 1120asa.cisco.com/username. That's the connection URL that my client will use to connect to this group. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at, right now I have a user on the Linux machine that's not connected, so it's not here. I hit refresh, it's not there. So let me go and show you. Let's go to my Linux machine, and this is an Ubuntu Linux machine. It could be Linux, it could be Mac, it could be Windows. It doesn't really matter. It all works. So let me show you a connection here. So I'm connecting to username. I'm going to hit connect. My username is Ned, and then the authentication password. Okay, now I've connected to Anyconnect successfully. Go back to the ASA, hit refresh. And you can see here, there you go, Ned has been connected. And it's a Linux 64 Ubuntu 20.0 machine. And the ACL that it got pushed down from ISE is IP ASA VPN-allow all. That's the open policy for VPN. All right, great. Now let's go back to, let's take a look at ISE. And if I take a look at my ISE server, this is ISE 3.0. This is the new GUI. You can see here that Ned just authenticated, and it's got a contractor VPN _allow all authorization profile. Okay, and that's the default there. All right, okay. The MAC address of the client now, it ends with CFDB. Okay, so let's go ahead and add this MAC address to the MAB list, the MAC authentication bypass. So I'm going to go to my ISE and go to the identities group. And within my identities group and endpoint identity group, I have a group that I created called VPN MAB list. And if I go to the VPN MAB list, my Linux machine is currently not in there. So let's go back in there and hit add. And let me add in the MAC address it has seen on the network. For example, here we go, A7CFDB. Let me go and add that entry into that MAB list. And you can see here it's a Linux machine because it saw it earlier on the network. Or you can just simply manually add this MAC address in there if you want. Doesn't really matter how you do it. Okay, so that's been added. So now let's go back to my policy. My policy sets within ISE. And I go into my default policy, and I created an authorization policy, and within this authorization policy is called local exception rule number 1. Actually, let me change that right now. Let's call it auth VPN MAB only. Okay, so that's the name here, name of my rule. And then I'm matching the user identity based on this list, VPN MAB list. And then the user, Ned, has to be part of Active Directory contractor group membership. So these two conditions must match for this new authorization profile to be assigned. It's called VPN allow MAC address register list. So that's my new profile. Can I hit save this for it to go into effect? And now let me go ahead and kick the user off of VPN, or I'll just log off here, same thing. Disconnect. Okay, let me reconnect again here as Ned. And I'm reconnected now to VPN, and let's go take a look at the ASA and hit refresh. Okay, Ned has connected again. Let's go look at details, and still Linux machine. And you can see here now there's a different ACL that got pushed down to the ASA. It's called ASA VPN _ MAB, so it's a different ACL. Then if I take a look at ISE, and look at the live logs, and you can see here, I went from contractor VPN allow earlier to with the new policy that I enforced. Now Ned has landed in a new profile called VPN allow -MAC address register list. And then the rule that we match is the auth VPN MAB only rule. Okay, so it works very well, works very easily with ISE as part of the equation here, working together with ASA or FTD. All right, hopefully you enjoy this demo.